Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed at 1,000 subscribers. I'll be posting a special video. The envelope hit the table and slid toward me too fast. "I can't be here long," Liam muttered, eyes bright. He pushed it closer with one finger, almost a dare. My pulse jumped and I pulled it close, heat rising. I'm Ava 29, engaged and usually steady. Tonight my grin felt taped on and flimsy. He kissed my temple and checked the time. "Give this to Maya quietly," he breathed, then left fast. The door thudded, my hands stayed on the envelope. I didn't open it, I didn't need to. His phone buzzed on the counter, he'd forgotten. A payment alert flashed, 5,000, Maya's name burned. I locked his phone and stood very still. The number lodged behind my ribs like grit. My mouth formed a smile anyway, old habit. The habit cracked when my screen lit again. Maya had texted 3 balloons and a heart. No question about dates or guests or dietary landmines. No request for contacts or anything practical. I typed thanks and stared hard at the bubbles. "Total secret," she wrote, then nothing. I watched that blank space like a fuse. My thumbs hovered and then sank. I asked for a rough headcount anyway, silence. The envelope sat between my elbows like evidence. I placed it in a drawer I rarely use. The drawer rasped closed and popped back a little. I pushed again and felt the wobble, bad omen. The faucet squealed when I turned it on. Cold water bit my wrists and cleared nothing. My reflection held still and looked like a stranger. I dried my hands and grabbed my own phone. Group chat, bridesmaids, quick poll. "Anyone hear from Maya today about travel or bookings?" 3 dots blinked and kept blinking. I felt each dot like a tap on bone. "Nothing from her," one wrote, then another echoed. A third dropped a shrug and a laugh. I stared at that laugh longer than healthy. I typed cool cool and swallowed the copper taste. Liam's footsteps rushed back down the hall. He'd realized the missing phone and reached for it. "Everything good?" he asked, searching my face. I lifted the drawer key and nodded too quickly. He buzzed the phone awake and relaxed. "You didn't peek," he joked, soft grin. I made a dumb joke back and missed. He left again and the door stuck halfway twice. I pulled the door tight and locked it. The click echoed louder than it should. I opened the drawer and took the envelope out. I weighed it once and put it back hard. Somewhere in the building, a dog barked and stopped. I messaged Maya one more line. "Need vendor contacts to coordinate surprises on my end." 3 minutes passed and the typing bubble teased. "Trust me," she sent, then a sparkle. My jaw set and I read it twice. Trust used to feel like a hammock. Tonight it felt like a trap door waiting. My screen lit before coffee. Maya pinged the group for quick payments. "Early bird rates end tonight," she added, a winking face and a clock. No venue, no headcount, only an urgent total per person. Thumbs reacted fast, my stomach answered slower, something off. I typed a short reply and paused. "Send invoices." I tapped send and waited. 3 names paid instantly and dropped celebratory gifts. Maya loved the speed, I hated the rush. A second message arrived from an unknown handle. "Same amount, different app, same deadline, pressure. Use this link." The first one hit a limit. I stared at the 2 links, twice the risk. I called Lena on speaker and kept my tone even. She lowered her voice and asked if this was normal. Not for anything legitimate. I watched the chat scroll. Another bridesmaid asked for a contract. Maya ignored her. I opened a notes page and created a test. New email, fresh avatar, neutral name, clean decoy. I wrote Maya privately as the decoy and offered help. "Vendor here, I can hold Saturday for a deposit." Her reply hit in under a minute, greedy quick. "Hold it for Ava's party, I'll wire right now." I asked for a company name to finalize records. She sent a heart and asked for a direct link. I pushed the decoy further and requested a planning sheet. "I need the final numbers for the fire code." She answered with a shrug emoji and a promise later. Later meant never in setups like this. My chest tightened. A notification popped from social. Maya posted a story. Shopping bags crowded the frame and a caption bragged, "Big weekend, big moves," then it vanished within minutes. I already had the screenshot, my thumb trembled on save. I texted her with clipped patience and no emojis. Need the vendor roster now, guests are asking me. She bounced back with confetti and a line about magic. I stared at the word magic until it soured. Liam leaned in from the hallway with a small grin. Still sworn to secrecy, he touched my shoulder and searched me. Absolutely, I lifted the phone and rewired my face. He walked off humming, I tasted iron. I pushed the decoy once more with a new hook. Venue requires a tax ID, they flagged your account. She sent 3 question marks and asked for options. Option O. Ni is a refund, hold until verification. 10 minutes, then 15, then a new message arrived. Use my cousin's details, she handles payments for me. She typed a full name and a mismatched zip code. I cross-checked the zip and felt the floor tilt. I called the supposed cousin and let it ring out. A text bounced back from a different number entirely. Wrong person, short final, then silence held. My palms warmed, heat I recognized from past mistakes. The group chat pinged with a new development. Maya requested additional transfers for surprise upgrades. 2 friends asked what the upgrades even were. She responded with a sparkle and the word premium. I took a breath and set a boundary in writing. No more transfers until paperwork appears on this thread. 4 dots blinked and then vanished. My pulse ticked louder, she had seen it. Minutes later, she slid into my private messages. You are ruining the vibe, relax and let me cook. I watched the typing bubble return and vanish twice. Then one last line landed, do you trust me or not? I answered with a screen capture of her story. Then the zip code mismatch, then my invoice request. I kept my words level and brief and final. She read all 3 and stayed quiet, long quiet. I sent Lena a separate note with instructions. Do not send another cent, screenshot everything from now on. She wrote back a single word, done. I felt the click of a new line drawn. A calendar invite arrived from a burner address. Title only, no location, no host information. I accepted on purpose to log the sender. The origin traced back to a free domain, cheap and disposable. I opened a fresh document and mapped the pattern. Double links, burner invite, vanishing posts, misdirected cousin. The shape was loud even without names. I recognized the slope we were on, fast and ugly. My phone buzzed again with a private plea. I'll send confirmations tonight, people are just slow. I tapped a single reply and kept it cold. Great, we'll wait for documents before any more money. I dialed the hotel before my shoes were on. Do you have a reservation under Maya's name for next month? The clerk checked politely and paused for a beat. No entry matches, came back flat, my grip tightened. I called a second place and gave the same details. Again nothing, same neutral tone, same empty file. I thanked them and muted the line. 2 calls, 0 bookings, my pulse climbed. Lena rang me before I could think. She told me to send an add-on fee now. How much? I kept my voice steady and slow. 200 more per person, she whispered like it burned. I opened our thread and typed a clear rule. No extra transfers until proof lands here for everyone. 3 names hit the heart and stopped moving. Maya stayed quiet long enough to sting. Her private text arrived with fake calm. Final confirmations tonight, vendors are late after a systems update. A systems update on a Sunday, I logged the claim. Share contact names, I wrote back and waited. She replied with a screenshot that looked assembled. Rounded corners, blurry letterhead, misspelled city. I zoomed until the pixels broke apart. The signature block used a free font, unprofessional at best. I forwarded it to Lena and kept it blunt. This file is off, keep the screenshots flowing. Lena dropped a thumbs up and a short curse. Someone else in the group asked for a refund. I tested the payment handle with a tiny transfer. $1 labeled as verification, sent with a note. The portal bounced it and redirected to a new handle. I recorded the redirect pass and took another breath. A calendar alert appeared with a vague title. No host, no address, only a block of time. I accepted and traced the headers for clues. The origin routed through a disposable domain, cheap camouflage. I went straight to a local planner's website. Live chat popped up and an assistant greeted me. Is there a hold for a bridal event under Maya? The assistant checked and came back with a clean no. I asked for common red flags in their world. Sudden link changes and private payment requests, they wrote quickly. Missing contracts in promise language are also signs. I stared at promise language until my jaw clicked. Liam walked in mid-scan and stopped at my screen. Everything on schedule, he tried to read my face. We need to verify a couple of things, I answered. He nodded once and leaned on the counter, waiting. I pulled up my bank chat and typed carefully. Report potential deception related to event planning transfers. They asked for amounts and recipient identifiers. I gave both and opened a case number, Thin Shield. Maya messaged the whole group with party mood. Surprise activity requires a confidentiality pledge, no more questions. 2 friends posted fireworks and kept paying anyway. I watched the totals climb and felt heat. I sent one more public line and locked it down. All funds pause on. Till we see vendor confirmations tonight. Maya reacted with a laughter icon and nothing else. Mocking reaction instead of documents, there it was. Minutes later, a new number pinged me privately. Hi, I booked clients for Maya, we need your email. I asked for their business registration and insurance. They left me on read for 10 heavy minutes. A file finally arrived with mismatched dates. The company formed last week and claimed 10 years experience. I forwarded the record to my bank case. Pattern of misrepresentation, I typed with stiff fingers. I texted Lena and Kara to stall any senders. Tell her your bank flagged activity and you are verifying. Both confirmed with quick replies and no extra commentary. The group quieted for the first time all day. I opened a map and placed pins on her claims. 2 hotels, 1 activities vendor, 1 fake coordinator. The cluster showed nothing booked and nothing paid. A picture formed that I did not want. Maya broke silence with a final flourish. Big reveal at 8, everything will make sense. I stared at the number 8 until my neck hurt. If nothing arrived by then, I would escalate. 7:56, I typed a last warning in the thread. Documents by 8 or every transfer pauses until further notice. Reactions flickered and stalled, the clock kept grinding forward. I set my jaw and watched the seconds bite. A ping landed from Maya with a dropped pin. Pickup point for favors, quick in and out. The address showed a suite inside a mail center. I grabbed keys and moved, suspicion already ahead. The storefront clerk glanced at the pin and shrugged. No private mailboxes under that name today. He checked a manifest and slid it back. Packages require ID or a code, he added carefully. I showed the group the street number and receipt stand. Lena answered fast with a car emoji and a plan. 2 of us are 10 minutes out, she wrote. I told them to wait outside and film arrivals. Maya dropped a story with a moving car frame. Caption bragged about errands and late couriers. I caught the timestamp and location sticker instantly. The sticker placed her across town, which mattered. Where exactly are you? I sent to her directly. Close, came back with a winky face and ellipses. Traffic is wild, she added without a street. I sent a photo of the storefront and waited. Liam stepped beside me and watched my screen. Is this where she said to meet? I nodded once and kept recording details. He tightened his jaw and tapped his watch. 8. No attachments arrived in the group at 8. Instead, a vague promise floated in private again. Confirmations coming after pickups, she wrote smoothly. I opened the bank case and upgraded the status. An unknown number called with confident energy. Coordinator for the celebration here, small hiccup with permits. List your permit number, I cut in hard. Static, then a cough, then the line died. I dialed the city switchboard and followed the menu. No permits filed for any event under our names. I logged the reference ID and saved the audio. My hands steadied with each recorded step. Lena and Kara parked across the street and waved. They filmed the entrance and noted every person. 5 deliveries went in and out without Maya. I felt the window closing on whatever she staged. Liam called the number from the calendar invite. A generic voicemail picked up without a greeting. He left a crisp message with the refund demand. Silence followed, that heavy kind before impact. A PDF finally hit our thread at 8:20. Group confirmation, the subject promised clean approvals. I opened properties and saw the author metadata. Maya's own handle sat in the field like a bruise. I zoomed the header and found mismatched zip codes. The phone number belonged to a pizza place nearby. I dialed it and ordered nothing, just listened. A teenager answered, chewing, clueless and real. I posted side-by-side screenshots in the group. Do not transfer a cent until verified, I wrote. Reactions stacked fast, then a blunt question appeared. Are we victims here? Someone asked with a tremor. Maya slid into my private chat with clipped charm. You are creating chaos, let me finish the rollout. I answered with 3 requests in a timeline. Receipts by 9, meet face to face, full roster. She sent one line that tasted like stalling. Tomorrow morning works better, my driver is late. I picked a cafe with cameras and clear angles. 9 sharp, I wrote and double underlined the time. Liam nodded and took a long breath. We lock this down and go together. I tucked the case number into my notes. Across the street, a mailbox door swung and banged. 9 sharp, I stepped into the cafe and chose a corner. Liam stood beside me with folded arms. Maya appeared 4 minutes late, sunglasses up, breath quick. She smiled too wide and reached for a hug. No. Paperwork first, I slid my phone onto the table. Vendor list, balances, contact numbers, real names. She pulled a slim folder and tapped the cover. All here, she said, not opening it. I kept the folder shut and watched her hands. Tell me what's inside before I look. She wet her lips and counted on fingers. Venue, activities, transportation, refund policies, she murmured, shaky. Who confirmed the venue? Liam kept his eyes level. An events manager, she answered, eyes darting. Which one? I asked, palms flat on wood. She looked past us at the door and stalled. I opened the folder and found glossy printouts. The letterhead didn't match the earlier file. Addresses differed by 1 digit and an incorrect postal code. My finger tapped the typo and held it there. That's an old draft, she whispered, shoulders rising. Show me your emails with the manager today. She lifted her phone and scrolled quickly. Screenshots, not threads, no timestamps, curated noise. I took a breath and pushed my decoy line. Our contact at the hotel found no reservation. Her jaw tightened, then softened into a practiced pout. Clerks make mistakes on Mondays, she offered, brittle. It's Tuesday, Liam cut in, voice steady. A small silence spread across the table. Maya drummed a finger and forced a laugh. Vendors move slow after long weekends, she tried again. I placed the bank case number between us. Active investigation for fraudulent transfers, reference included. Her face drained and then reassembled fast. You escalated already, she breathed, eyes narrowing. I leaned in and kept my tone even. People sent funds based on your instructions. Receipts now or we report you today, I added. She stared at the folder like it might speak. Her phone buzzed and she flinched. A new message preview flashed, a payment request. The sender matched one of her burner handles. My chest went cold and then very clear. Who owns that handle? I asked without blinking. She tucked the phone under her palm. A contractor, she answered, fingers shaking slightly. Give me their business license, I said flat. She swiped to her photos and produced a document. The formation date showed last week in large numbers. 10 years experience sat in the tagline below. I tilted the screen and let the contradiction hang. Look, she started, voice dropping to a hush. Vendors bilaid, deposits got held by a processor. I had to shift money temporarily, she added quickly. Everything is replacing itself this afternoon, she finished tight. Temporarily where? Liam asked, not moving. To cover an emergency, she answered, eyes wet. I'm fixing it right now, she added with urgency. Her knuckles whitened as she clutched the phone. What emergency? I asked, fingers steady now. She stared at her lap for one long beat. Rent and a bill, she finally pushed out. It comes back after a quick flip, she whispered. I felt the room tilt and then lock. Flip how? I asked, refusing to blink. A friend runs a table that doubles money, she said. The word table scraped across my skin like wire. Liam exhaled once and kept his gaze pinned. Refund the entire amount today, he said carefully. Send it back to each person, full total. Maya's mouth opened and closed without sound. I can return half now, she tried, voice fraying. The rest by Friday with profits, she added quickly. I shook my head once and kept still. No installments, I said, each syllable hard. She looked toward the windows and tapped her thigh. If I liquidate everything, I'll get penalized, she muttered. You chose that risk without asking anyone, I said. Open your banking app, Liam added, calm steel. Her thumb hovered over the screen and wavered. She glanced at me like I might rescue her. I folded my arms and waited out the silence. The pause stretched until it hurt to breathe. She finally tapped through to recent transfers. The totals lined up with our screenshots and notes. Names blurred into aliases, arrows flowed one direction. I took photos of every page while she watched. I will file today if this stalls, I warned. She swallowed and nodded once with a twitch. I can send a chunk right now, she whispered. Then the rest within 24 hours, she bargained. 3 hours, I countered, voice low and final. Proof of sends in the group thread, all of them. Liam slid a printed summary across the table. Miss this window and we involve law enforcement. Her shoulders slumped and the fight bled out. She typed a flurry and winced at each confirmation. My phone buzzed with the first reversal received. One down, many to go, clock roaring again. I messaged the group with a clear update. Refunds are starting, post screenshots when yours lands. Images arrived in bursts as transfers hit accounts. 2 remained pending with error messages and delays. Maya stared at those 2 like lifelines. They use banks with holds, give me until evening. And 3 who? Ores, I repeated, eyes on the time. She nodded and packed the empty folder slowly. We stood to leave and she touched my sleeve. I never meant to hurt you, she murmured. I held her look and kept my face still. Intent doesn't rebuild what you took, I said. Outside, Liam angled close and lowered his voice. We have enough to finish this if she slips. I felt something hard settle where hope used to sit. If she missed the deadline, we would end it. My phone vibrated twice, only one pending refund cleared. The stubborn 2 still showed processing with vague notes. I set a timer and typed a final line. 1 hour left, finish or we file, no more talk. Maya responded with a single dot and nothing else. Then another message begged for patience and fresh promises. I stared until the screen dimmed and stayed dim. Liam watched my hands steady themselves like clamps. 40 minutes, I opened a new email to her bank. Subject line sharp, attachment stacked, timeline precise. I added the coordination summary and the refusal window. Liam read every line and gave one tight nod. 30 minutes, Maya called from an unknown number. I'm in a queue, the system is crawling, drifted through. Share a supervisor's name, I asked, voice even. Breathing filled the gap, then the call ended. 20 minutes, I dialed the fraud desk again. Escalate to immediate hold on related accounts, I requested. The agent verified details and advanced the status. A formal note hit my inbox, wait, I needed. 10 minutes, Lena pinged with an update screenshot. One of the 2 finally hit her balance with relief. We all posted a quick check mark to confirm. The last transfer stood alone like a lit match. 5 minutes, I texted Maya 3 clear instructions. Send proof of return, confirm the recipient, respond here. Typing appeared, vanished, returned, then stopped entirely. Liam's jaw worked once and set hard. Time, I pressed send on the report packet. I included her aliases, numbers, and the mismatched documents. A copy went to the group so nothing hid. My chest eased a fraction, the rest stayed locked. Maya resurfaced at the edge of the minute. I can deliver cash in person now, flashed on screen. Public place only, I wrote, already moving. Liam grabbed the car keys and held the door. We chose the station lobby with cameras and staff. She arrived late with a thin envelope and restless eyes. I counted slowly while Liam filmed from my shoulder. The total missed by a clean 100, short and obvious. All of it, I said, not raising my voice. She looked at the floor and swallowed hard. A second envelope appeared from her jacket with trembling. I counted again, exact this time, then photographed both receipts. Message the group now, Liam instructed, tone like frost. She typed an apology with halting thumbs and flushed cheeks. Replies poured in quick and clipped and furious. I let them speak for us and kept silent. Outside the doors, she reached for my wrist. I made a terrible call, she whispered like confession. I stepped back and pulled my hand free. Your choices stop here, I answered plain steel. We walked to the curb without looking back. Night sounds crowded the spaces my trust once filled. Liam squeezed my shoulder and held it until I breathed. I matched his pace and felt something settle final. At home, I created one last message for everyone. We are done involving her in any plans, I wrote. I will coordinate directly and share verified details, followed. Reactions stacked fast, then calmer notes replaced the noise. I closed each folder and stored the evidence carefully. Not for vengeance, just for clean boundaries and memory. A quiet resolve spread through my ribs and stayed. I locked the drawer and knew it would stay locked.